Rin's ship glided through the endless black of space, its sleek silver frame reflecting the light of distant stars. The planet ahead, Lyra 5, was a jewel in the darkness, glowing with blue and green swirls that marked its oceans and forests. Rin adjusted the controls and felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. This was his first official mission on an alien world, and he knew humans would be watched closely by the Zilurus rulers. The landing pad on Lyra 5 was massive, made of a crystal-like material that shimmered under the twin suns. As Rin's ship touched down, he noticed dozens of Zilurus guards standing in perfect formation. Their tall, slender bodies moved gracefully, their eyes reflecting a strange, gentle light. He had read about the Zilurus, but seeing them in person was different. They seemed both regal and kind. A soft hum filled the air as the ship doors opened. Rin stepped out and took a deep breath. The air was fresh, almost sweet, with a hint of flowers he had never smelled before. He adjusted his uniform and began walking toward the palace, feeling the eyes of the Zilurus on him. "Welcome, human," a smooth, melodic voice said. Rin turned to see a Zilurus officer bowing slightly. "I am Lyran, captain of the Royal Guard. The princess awaits you." Rin nodded and followed Lyran through the palace gates. The halls were vast and luminous, lined with panels that glowed with soft colors. Holographic displays floated in the air, showing stars, planets, and alien creatures. Rin could not hide his wonder. "This place is incredible," he said quietly. Lyran smiled, noticing his fascination. "Princess Myra values visitors who are curious. She will enjoy speaking with you." At the center of the palace stood Princess Myra. She was taller than Rin expected, with shimmering skin that seemed to glow faintly. Her eyes were wide and bright, filled with intelligence and curiosity. She watched Rin with a mixture of caution and interest. "Hello, human," Myra said, her voice like a gentle song. Rin felt a strange warmth in his chest at the sound. "Hello, Princess Myra," Rin replied with a respectful bow. "It is an honor to meet you." Myra tilted her head slightly, observing him closely. "I have read about humans," she said. "Your technology, your culture, your history. But it is different to see one in person. You are smaller than I imagined." She gave a small, polite smile. Rin chuckled softly. "I have heard Zilurus are taller than humans, so I expected this," Rin said. "But it is still an honor to meet you." Myra blushed faintly, a soft pink hue spreading across her cheeks. "Thank you," she replied. "I hope you enjoy your stay on Lyra 5. The palace staff led Rin to a guest chamber. It overlooked the main gardens, where glowing plants swayed gently even though there was no wind. Rin took a moment to look at the view. The garden seemed alive, as if the plants themselves were aware of him. He felt a mixture of awe and excitement. That evening, Rin joined Myra in a grand hall for dinner. The table was filled with dishes he had never seen before, each one glowing softly and releasing delicate aromas. Myra watched him carefully as he tasted the food. "You seem to enjoy it," she said. "Humans are curious about many things. Do you find our food different?" Rin smiled. "It is wonderful. Very different, but delicious. Your people have amazing tastes." Myra laughed softly, a sound that seemed to echo in Rin's mind. "You are polite. I like that. Some humans are too loud or careless." They talked for hours, sharing stories of their worlds. Rin described Earth, its oceans, mountains, and cities. Myra spoke of Lyra 5, of its crystal forests, floating rivers, and twin suns. Each story made Rin more fascinated with her world. As the evening ended, Rin walked with Myra to the palace balcony. The sky was filled with stars, brighter than any he had ever seen. Myra leaned slightly toward him, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "Do you like Lyra 5? She asked quietly. "I do," Rin said, smiling. "It is beautiful, and your people are kind. I think I will enjoy my time here very much. Myra blushed, a soft pink across her cheeks. She looked down for a moment, then back at him. I hope so, she said softly. Humans are brave. You may surprise us. Ren felt a warmth in his chest. This was the start of something new, something exciting. On Lyra 5, he knew his life was about to change, and perhaps, so would the life of Princess Myra. The next morning, Ren woke to the soft light of Lyra 5's twin suns. He felt a sense of excitement. Today was the Festival of Stars, one of the most important events in the Zilurus calendar. The entire planet celebrated, decorating streets and gardens with glowing lanterns, ribbons, and flowers that sparkled under the sunlight. Ren followed Princess Myra through the palace gates. She wore a flowing gown that shimmered like starlight, and her hair was braided with glowing threads. Her eyes reflected her excitement, and Ren felt his own pulse quicken. He had seen festivals on Earth, but nothing could compare to the beauty of this one. Ren, you must try everything, Myra said with a playful smile. Our festivals are full of surprises. Be brave. Ren laughed. I will try everything, Princess. Lead the way. They entered the main plaza, where Zilurus citizens moved gracefully, their bodies glowing softly under the sunlight. The plaza was alive with music, dancing, and laughter. Ren noticed floating platforms carrying performers who sang and performed acrobatics. The colors, lights, and sounds created a magical atmosphere. Follow me, Myra said, tugging Ren gently by the hand. She guided him to a food stall where glowing fruits and small pastries floated in the air. Ren hesitated for a moment but then reached for a fruit that glimmered blue. When he bit into it, the taste was sweet and refreshing, unlike anything he had ever experienced. You like it? Myra asked, watching him closely. It is amazing, Ren replied, smiling. Myra's cheeks turned a soft pink, and she laughed, a sound like chimes. You are brave, she said. Not many humans would try floating food so quickly. They continued through the festival. Ren tried games where he had to catch small floating lights. He stumbled a few times, making Myra giggle, and she held his arm to steady him. Her touch was gentle, and Ren felt a warm connection. Suddenly, a floating lantern began to drift toward Myra. The breeze pushed it faster than she expected. Ren reacted quickly, grabbing her hand and pulling her out of the way. Myra's eyes widened, and she held his hand tightly for a moment. Thank you, Ren, she said, her voice soft. You are always careful. Ren smiled. I will always try to keep you safe, Princess. Myra blushed faintly, looking down for a moment before meeting his eyes again. Yes, dear, she whispered with a shy smile. Ren felt a small thrill at her words, sensing the bond between them growing stronger. As the day continued, they watched performers dance on the floating platforms. The performers moved with grace and strength, performing stunts that seemed impossible. Ren marveled at their skill, while Myra explained the meaning behind each dance. These dances tell stories of our history, Myra said. Of heroes, of unity, and of hope. They remind us that courage is the greatest gift we can share. Ren listened carefully, inspired by her words. He thought of Earth, and the bravery humans had shown when exploring space. He felt proud to be part of this new friendship and adventure. When the sun began to set, the festival grew even more spectacular. The twin suns cast long shadows, and thousands of floating lanterns were released into the sky. They glimmered like stars falling to the earth. Ren and Myra stood side by side, holding hands, watching the lights rise higher and higher. It is beautiful, Ren said quietly. Yes, Myra replied, her eyes reflecting the lanterns. It feels like the whole world is celebrating together. A gentle breeze lifted Myra's hair, and Ren brushed it away from her face. She smiled, her cheeks still pink. Rin felt a sense of wonder, not just at the festival, but at the feeling of being beside her. As the night settled, Rin and Myra walked through the glowing gardens. The air smelled sweet, and soft lights hung from the trees. They talked about their dreams, their hopes, and the places they wanted to see. Rin shared stories of Earth's oceans and mountains, while Myra described Lyra 5's crystal forests and floating rivers. By the time they returned to the palace, Rin felt a new connection with Myra. He admired her courage, her curiosity, and her kindness. Myra, in turn, felt a quiet trust in Rin, knowing he cared for her beyond simple politeness. Before parting, Myra looked at him, her cheeks pink in the soft glow of the palace lights. "Thank you, Rin," she said, "for being brave today, and for sharing this festival with me." Rin smiled warmly. "I am happy to be here, Princess. Today has been unforgettable." Myra's eyes shone, and she whispered softly, "Yes, dear." Rin's heart skipped a beat at her words. He knew their friendship had deepened, and that the adventure of Lyra 5 was only beginning. The morning after the Festival of Stars, Rin woke early, eager to explore more of Lyra 5. He had grown comfortable with the palace, its glowing halls, and the gentle rhythm of Zilurus life. Princess Myra had promised to show him the northern crystal forests, a place said to sparkle under sunlight like thousands of tiny stars. As Rin prepared, a soft alarm echoed through the palace. The lights dimmed briefly, and Lyran, the captain of the royal guard, appeared in a rush. "Rin, Princess Myra," he said, voice serious. "We have detected unusual energy readings near the outer walls. It is unlike anything we have seen before." Rin's curiosity spiked immediately. "Could it be dangerous?" he asked. Lyran nodded. "Possibly. It is unclear. Princess Myra, you must stay inside for safety." Myra frowned but nodded. "Be careful, Rin," she said softly. Her hand brushed against his arm, and Rin felt a wave of determination. Rin grabbed his scanning device and stepped outside. The sky was clear, twin suns casting long shadows over the palace gardens. The energy readings led him toward the northern border of the palace grounds, where dense crystal trees glimmered in soft blue light. As he approached, Rin noticed unusual patterns in the ground: small scorch marks, traces of unknown machinery, and faint signs of movement. He crouched to examine the area, his mind racing. "Someone is trying to hide here," Rin murmured. His human instincts for problem-solving took over. He activated his device, which projected a small holographic map of the surrounding terrain. The energy signature was growing stronger, moving slowly toward the palace. Suddenly, Rin heard a faint hum behind him. He turned quickly, scanning the trees. Two small drones hovered in the air, their lights blinking red. Rin realized these were surveillance devices. Someone was watching Lyra 5, waiting for the right moment. Rin's heart beat faster, but his mind was calm. He carefully disabled one drone with a precise energy pulse and caught the second in a small containment net. He studied it and noticed symbols engraved on its surface, alien writing he did not recognize. "These are not Zilurus," Rin said quietly. "This is a hostile faction." He hurried back to Lyran, showing him the drone. Lyran's expression darkened. "This confirms our fears," he said. "There is a faction that wishes to control Lyra 5. They are advanced and dangerous. We must prepare." Rin nodded, feeling a surge of responsibility. Humans were known for courage and cleverness, and he intended to show it now. "We need a plan," Rin said. "We can use both human technology and Zilurus defenses. Together, we can predict their moves." Lyran agreed. "You have shown quick thinking, Rin. You will join the training exercises with our guards. We need to prepare for anything." Over the next few days, Rin trained with Zilurus warriors. He learned their combat techniques, their use of energy shields, and their unique forms of movement among the glowing crystal forests. At first, the warriors were skeptical of human methods, but Rin's ingenuity quickly impressed them. He combined human strategies with Zilurus abilities, creating new defensive techniques. Princess Myra observed quietly, her admiration growing with each passing day. She had never seen a human so calm under pressure, so clever in thinking through challenges. One afternoon, she approached Rin while he tested a holographic simulation. "You are very brave, Rin," she said softly. "I can see why the council values your presence." Rin smiled warmly. "Thank you, Princess. I just want to help keep Lyra 5 safe. Your people have done so much for me already." Myra's cheeks turned a soft pink, and she looked away for a moment. "I trust you," she said quietly. "That is not easy for me with all that is happening." Rin's heart warmed. "I will not let anything happen to you or this planet," he promised. By the 5th day, the energy readings intensified. Rin and Lyran discovered multiple drones moving in patterns around the palace. The hostile faction was preparing to strike. Rin suggested using decoys and energy traps to confuse the invaders, combining human technology with Zilurus crystals to amplify the effect. The council agreed, impressed with Rin's plan. Princess Myra watched with quiet pride as Rin coordinated with both humans and Zilurus guards. His courage, intelligence, and determination inspired everyone around him. That night, as the twin suns set, Rin stood on the palace balcony, looking at the distant horizon. Myra joined him silently, her eyes reflecting the fading light. "Do you think we can stop them?" she asked softly. Rin nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility but also the strength of human determination. "Yes, Princess. Humans and Zilurus together can face anything. We will protect this world." Myra smiled faintly, a blush coloring her cheeks. "I believe you, Rin." The air was calm, but Rin knew the calm would not last. The hidden threat was closer than ever. Yet he felt ready. With human ingenuity, courage, and the trust of Princess Myra, Rin would face whatever dangers lay ahead and show the strength of humanity in the stars. The morning air on Lyra 5 was calm, but Rin felt a tension he could not ignore. The energy readings from the previous days had reached their peak. The hostile faction was ready to strike. He walked through the palace corridors with Lyran, discussing final preparations. The guards moved with precision, but Rin noticed the worry in their glowing eyes. Suddenly, a loud alarm echoed through the palace. Red lights flashed as an urgent message came from the outer walls. "Attack!" Lyran shouted. "They are here." Rin's heart raced. He followed Lyran and the guards to the main gates. Outside, hovering ships with sharp, metallic designs descended from the sky. The hostile faction had arrived. Energy blasts lit the sky as the invaders advanced quickly toward the palace. "Princess Myra!" Rin shouted, fearing for her safety. The guards quickly escorted her to a secure chamber, but during the chaos, a group of enemy warriors broke through and captured her. Rin's stomach dropped. Without hesitation, he ran after them, determined to rescue the princess. Lyran and a team of warriors followed Rin as he used his knowledge of the palace and surrounding terrain to track the kidnappers. They moved through the glowing crystal forests, dodging traps and enemy patrols. Rin's quick thinking and human ingenuity helped them avoid detection multiple times. "Rin, the path splits ahead," Lyran said. "Which way?" Rin examined the energy patterns left by the kidnappers. "We take the left path," he decided. "It's riskier, but it will get us closer to Myra." The team moved silently, using the forest to hide from enemy sensors. Rin's mind raced with strategies. He remembered the human training he had learned on Earth: small distractions, precise movements, and clever use of the environment. He combined these with Zilurus energy shields to create an almost invisible approach. Finally, they reached the enemy's stronghold, a tall structure of dark metal that hummed with energy. Rin signaled to the team. We need a quick, precise strike. No mistakes. The plan was simple but dangerous. Rin and two Zilurus warriors would enter from the side using a small ventilation passage while the others created a diversion. The enemy would be distracted, giving Rin a chance to reach Myra quickly. Inside the stronghold, Rin moved carefully through narrow corridors. His heart pounded, but his mind remained sharp. The enemy guards were alert, but Rin used his human ingenuity to bypass them. He activated a small device that emitted light pulses, confusing the enemy sensors. At last, Rin reached a small chamber where Myra was held. She looked up as the door opened, her eyes wide with relief. Rin, she exclaimed. I've got you, princess, Rin said gently. Stay close to me. We're leaving now. Myra nodded, her trust evident. She followed Rin as he led her through the ventilation passages, avoiding detection. Outside, the diversion worked perfectly. The enemy was occupied, giving them a clear path to escape. As they ran through the crystal forests, Myra held Rin's hand tightly. You saved me, she said, her voice trembling with gratitude. I knew you were brave, but this is more than I imagined. Rin smiled reassuringly. I will always protect you, Myra. We are not just humans and Zilurus, we are a team. Together, we can face anything. They reached the palace gates where Lyran and the other guards waited. Rin signaled, and the Zilurus warriors formed a protective barrier as Rin and Myra moved through safely. Energy blasts from the enemy ships streaked across the sky, but the combined defenses held strong. Once inside the palace walls, Myra turned to Rin, her eyes shining. Thank you, Rin. You are truly brave. I don't know what I would have done without you. Rin felt a warmth in his chest. You are safe now, princess. That is what matters. Lyran approached, nodding in approval. You have done more than any human could have imagined, Rin. Your courage and clever thinking saved the princess and possibly the entire palace. Myra blushed faintly, looking at Rin with admiration. Yes, dear, she whispered softly, her hand brushing against his. Rin felt a thrill at her words, knowing their bond had grown even stronger through the danger they had faced together. That night, Rin stood on the balcony overlooking Lyra 5. The twin suns had set, leaving the sky filled with stars. Myra joined him silently. They did not speak at first, letting the quiet beauty of the night settle around them. Finally, Myra said softly, Rin, I believe humans are truly remarkable. You have shown courage, wisdom, and kindness. Lyra 5 is lucky to have you here. Rin smiled, humbled but proud. And I am lucky to have met you, princess. Today proved that together, we can face anything. The stars above seemed brighter that night, as if the universe itself recognized their bravery. Rin knew the danger was not over, but he also knew that with trust, teamwork, and human heroism, they could overcome any challenge. The hostile faction was not finished. Rin and Princess Myra had returned to the palace after the daring rescue, but the invaders' ships hovered near the outskirts of Lyra 5, scanning for any sign of life. Rin knew they had to act quickly. The planet itself could become a battlefield if the enemy gained control. Rin approached Lyran and the council with a plan. We need to move Myra to a safer location, he said. There is a hidden valley to the north, protected by crystal formations. We can use it as a temporary refuge while we prepare our defenses. Myra looked at Rin with concern. Will it be dangerous? She asked. It is risky, Rin admitted. But we have to stay ahead of them. I will lead the way. The next morning, Rin, Myra, and a small group of Zilurus warriors began their journey. The valley was far, across terrains that shimmered with Lyra 5's unique beauty. Floating rivers of glowing water stretched between mountains, and crystal forests reflected sunlight in dazzling patterns. Every step required care, as the terrain was both beautiful and treacherous. As they moved, enemy scouts appeared. Ren quickly realized they were being followed. "They know where we are going," he said. "We must use the terrain to our advantage." Ren led the group through a series of narrow crystal passages, which made it difficult for the enemy ships to maneuver. He used small decoys and holographic illusions to confuse them, tricking the scouts into following false trails. Myra watched in awe as Ren's quick thinking kept them safe. Suddenly, a bridge of floating crystal platforms appeared over a deep canyon. The platforms glowed faintly, suspended in midair. Ren tested the first platform with his foot, ensuring it could hold their weight. He extended his hand to Myra. "Hold my hand," Ren said gently. "We will cross together." Myra took his hand, her fingers trembling slightly. "I trust you, Ren," she whispered. Step by step, they moved across the floating platforms. The enemy ships fired energy blasts that missed narrowly, causing some of the platforms to vibrate. Ren stayed calm, guiding Myra with steady hands and quiet instructions. With determination, they reached the other side safely, their bond strengthened by the shared danger. As they continued, they entered a glowing forest, the trees shining with soft blue light. Ren noticed movement in the shadows. Enemy warriors had tracked them this far. "We must act quickly," he said. He instructed the Zilurus warriors to use their energy shields to create barriers while he and Myra slipped through a hidden path. The chase grew more intense as enemy ships hovered above, scanning with red lights. Ren spotted a narrow canyon that led to the hidden valley. "This way," he urged, running ahead. Myra followed, her trust in him unwavering. They reached a cliff overlooking the valley. The hidden refuge stretched below, surrounded by towering crystal formations that glowed in the sunlight. Ren helped Myra down carefully, ensuring she was safe. The Zilurus warriors followed, using their energy skills to descend securely. Once in the valley, Ren and Myra paused to catch their breath. The enemy ships could not follow into the narrow, protected area. Ren looked at Myra, her cheeks flushed from exertion and fear, and smiled reassuringly. "You are safe now," Ren said softly. "This valley will protect us until we can plan our next move." Myra took a deep breath, holding Ren's hand tightly. "I cannot believe how brave you are," she said. "You saved me again, and this time, you led us through so much danger." Ren felt warmth in his chest. "We saved each other, Myra. We are a team. Humans and Zilurus together can face anything." The two looked over the valley, watching the glowing waters and sparkling forests. Ren knew this temporary safety was just the beginning. The hostile faction would not give up easily. But he felt confident that with courage, intelligence, and teamwork, they could overcome any challenge. Myra smiled faintly, blushing slightly as she whispered, "Yes, dear." Ren's heart skipped a beat. That small phrase, repeated with trust and affection, reminded him why he was determined to protect Lyra 5 and the princess. Night fell, and the valley glowed under the light of the twin moons. Ren and Myra sat together, sharing quiet stories of their worlds. Ren spoke of Earth's oceans, forests, and mountains, while Myra told him of Lyra 5's crystal rivers and floating forests. Every story strengthened their bond, giving them courage for the challenges ahead. Though the danger was far from over, Ren felt ready. With Myra by his side, and the humans and Zilurus united, he knew they could face whatever awaited. This adventure had tested them, but it had also shown the power of bravery, trust, and friendship. If the hidden valley was calm in the early morning light, but Ren knew it would not stay peaceful for long. The hostile faction was gathering forces outside the Crystal Mountains. Today would decide the fate of Lyra 5. Ren, Myra, and the Zilurus warriors prepared for the coming battle. Ren stood before the assembled forces, both human and Zilurus. His heart pounded, but his expression was steady. "We have faced danger together before," he said. "Now we face our greatest challenge." But remember, humans and Zilurus together are strong. We will protect this planet and each other. Stay calm, stay clever, and stay brave. The Zilurus warriors nodded, their glowing eyes filled with determination. Myra stood beside Rin, her presence giving him courage. I trust you, Rin, she said softly. Lead us well. Rin smiled at her. We will win this, Myra. Together. From the valley, they could see the enemy approaching. Their ships hovered above, sleek and dark, and the ground troops advanced with strange energy weapons. Rin quickly reviewed the plan he had developed with Lyran. Human strategies and Zilurus powers would combine to create a strong defense. As the enemy troops entered the valley, Rin signaled the first phase. Energy barriers rose from the crystal formations, creating narrow paths and confusing the invaders. Humans operated advanced turrets while Zilurus warriors used shields and energy pulses to block enemy movements. The enemy was strong, but Rin's clever tactics kept them off balance. Rin led a small team to flank the enemy from the side, using hidden passages in the crystal formations. Myra watched, her heart pounding, as Rin moved with precision and courage. He used the terrain, energy devices, and quick thinking to take out key enemy units, preventing them from overwhelming the main force. Suddenly, the enemy commander appeared, a tall figure with dark armor and powerful weapons. He raised his hand, and a wave of energy struck toward the Zilurus lines. Rin quickly calculated the trajectory and directed the Zilurus shields to absorb the impact. Then he activated a human energy pulse that disrupted the enemy's devices. The commander staggered, giving the combined forces a chance to advance. Myra gasped in admiration. Rin is amazing, she whispered. Her cheeks flushed as she realized how much bravery and skill he had shown. Rin pressed forward, coordinating attacks from both human and Zilurus units. He shouted instructions, moved swiftly, and used every resource at his disposal. The enemy, despite their strength, could not adapt to Rin's tactics. One by one, their forces fell back, retreating toward their ships. The battle reached its climax as Rin and a small team confronted the enemy commander directly. The commander fired energy blasts, but Rin dodged skillfully and used a combination of Zilurus shields and human devices to counterattack. With a final clever maneuver, Rin disabled the commander's weapon and forced him to surrender. The enemy forces retreated, their ships leaving the skies of Lyra 5. The valley fell silent, except for the sounds of celebration from the Zilurus and human warriors. Rin and Myra stood together, watching the last enemy ship disappear into the distance. Myra turned to Rin, her eyes shining. You did it, she said softly. You saved Lyra 5. You saved us all. Rin smiled, though his body was tired from the battle. We did it together, he said. Humans and Zilurus are stronger when we trust each other. Lyran approached, bowing slightly. Your leadership and courage were extraordinary, Rin. Today, humans have shown their strength not just in skill, but in bravery and wisdom. Myra blushed, looking at Rin with quiet admiration. Yes, dear, she whispered. Rin felt a thrill at her words, knowing their bond had grown through shared courage and challenges. That evening, the valley was peaceful once more. Rin and Myra walked together along the glowing river, watching the sunlight reflect off the crystal trees. The battle is over, Myra said softly. But I hope we never forget the courage you showed. Rin took her hand gently. I will never forget, Myra. And I will always be ready to protect this world, and you. Myra smiled, her eyes reflecting the glowing waters. I trust you, Rin. You have proven that humans are capable of great heroism. As the twin suns set, Rin and Myra stood side by side, looking over the valley. The stars began to appear in the sky, twinkling above their peaceful world. Rin felt a deep sense of pride and hope. Lyra 5 had been saved, and the bond between humans and Zilurus had never been stronger. In that moment, Rin realized that courage, clever thinking, and trust could overcome even the greatest threats. And with Myra by his side, the future of Lyra 5 was full of promise, friendship, and hope. The sun rose over Lyra 5, casting soft light across the crystal forests and glowing rivers. The valley, once a battlefield, now shimmered peacefully. Rin walked alongside Princess Myra, both feeling the quiet calm after the storm. The palace and the planet were safe, and the hostile faction had retreated far beyond reach. Rin had spent the night planning the rebuilding of defenses and preparing for any future threats. Myra walked beside him, her hand brushing gently against his. The princess had always been graceful, but now her expression carried relief and admiration. "Rin," she said softly, "I cannot imagine what we would have done without you." Rin shook his head, smiling. "It was a team effort, Myra. Humans and Zilurus together can achieve anything. But I am glad I could help." Myra's cheeks flushed slightly as she looked at him. "Yes, dear," she whispered. Rin felt a small thrill at her words, knowing their bond had grown stronger through the challenges they had faced together. In the following days, Rin worked with the Zilurus Council to strengthen the planet's defenses. He shared human technology and strategies, helping the Zilurus improve their communication systems, energy shields, and early warning sensors. The Zilurus learned quickly, impressed by the simplicity and cleverness of human solutions. Meanwhile, Rin explored the planet with Myra. They visited the crystal forests, walked along the glowing rivers, and climbed small mountains to watch the twin suns rise and set. Rin was amazed by the beauty of Lyra 5, but more so by the courage and intelligence of its people. Myra, in turn, admired Rin's bravery, determination, and kindness. One afternoon, they stood on a high cliff overlooking the northern plains. The wind gently lifted Myra's hair, and Rin brushed it back with a careful hand. The view stretched endlessly, the valleys and forests glowing softly under the sunlight. "This world is incredible," Rin said. "And your people, they are amazing." Myra smiled, her cheeks pink. "Thank you, Rin. I have learned a lot from you too. You have shown me courage and wisdom that I never imagined a human could have." Rin laughed softly. "Humans have many strengths. Bravery is one of them, especially when protecting what matters most." Myra looked at him, her eyes reflecting the sunlight. "I trust you, Rin. I am glad you are here. I feel safer knowing humans stand beside us." Rin felt warmth in his chest. "And I am glad to be here, Myra. Lyra 5 is now my home too." The days passed with work, training, and exploration. Rin and Myra often shared quiet moments together, talking about their worlds, dreams, and hopes for the future. Rin spoke of Earth, its oceans, forests, and mountains, while Myra described Lyra 5's crystal rivers, floating forests, and twin suns. Each story brought them closer, building trust and friendship. The human and Zilurus alliance grew stronger. The people of Lyra 5 welcomed Rin, learning from his ingenuity and courage. Humans stationed on the planet became part of the community, teaching, exploring, and protecting alongside their Zilurus friends. One evening, Rin and Myra walked through the palace gardens, now restored to their glowing beauty. Lanterns floated gently in the air, and the air smelled sweet with the scent of glowing flowers. Myra stopped and turned to Rin, her eyes shining. "Rin," she said softly, "we have faced danger, we have overcome challenges, and we have learned to trust each other. I am glad you are here." Rin smiled warmly, taking her hand gently. "And I am glad to be here with you, Myra. Together, humans and Zilurus can face any future." Myra blushed faintly, smiling at him. "Yes, dear," she whispered, echoing the words they had shared during their adventures. Rin felt a quiet joy, knowing their bond had deepened into trust and friendship. As night fell, the twin moons rose over the valley, casting soft light across the crystal forests. Rin and Myra stood side by side, looking out at the peaceful world. The stars twinkled above, reflecting in the glowing rivers below. Rin knew that challenges would come again, but he also knew that with courage, intelligence, and unity, humans and Zilurus could overcome anything. Myra's presence reminded him of the strength of trust and friendship, and the hope that humanity could inspire across the stars. The story of Rin and Princess Myra became a symbol of heroism, bravery, and the power of unity. Lyra 5 was safe, its people strong, and the alliance between humans and Zilurus unbreakable. Rin smiled as he looked at Myra, ready to face the future together, side by side, with hope in their hearts and courage in their actions. The stars shone brightly above, reflecting the promise of new beginnings, friendship, and adventure yet to come.